Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beautiful day here in the Mushroom Kingdom for another race of Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Group Stage Tournament. We have a race today between DaveLindo and Glutamic Acid, and we are trying to close out this group stage so we can move on to the exciting bracket phase that is going to be coming up. Hey everyone, I'm Cyclone, joined by Diesel Pilot. How you doing today, Diesel?
Oh, doing great, Cyclone. Looking like a great day for a race. We got a beautiful Friday morning. Well, Friday, maybe early afternoon, wherever you are, but welcome viewers, welcome fans. And we'll see these two racers finish up our group stage for the Super Mario Bros. 3 2020 Randomizer Tournament.
And just to explain where we are in this phase, we are looking at a Group C matchup, and this is going to be a big matchup today, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's on the line for both of these runners. We have a situation where either runner can advance in the tournament. So both runners still have everything on the line here. Glutamic Acid has the advantage. He has 2 wins so far in the group phase, whereas DaveLindo is running 1 win, 1-3. So DaveLindo has to win both races today in order to advance. If he cannot do that, Glutamic Acid will take the advance into the next phase.
So that'll be part of the threads that we'll be watching. Of course, all the normal excitement that we've seen with the group stage matches so far. We'll be using the standard group stage flags for the first and the second rounds. Slightly different information for the flag sets. As we go into the first match, what we'll have here is all the worlds played in order, and all of the action panels actually tell you the number of what we're going, and away we go.
And of course, we're starting in World 1. This is normal because in this particular mode, all the worlds are in order. The levels are mostly in the same world. There are examples where some forts may be in a different world, but other than that, a lot of the levels are going to be behind the panels you expect to see them on.
And we have our first divergence right off the start. DaveLindo decides to play the upper route and takes 1-4, while Glutamic Acid decides to play the fortress that was down on the the central route. He may have a shot here at breaking the lock with the spoon.
That was also the regular fortress, so we haven't seen any additional fortress, any additional clue yet. There is a second fort that is on the upper route where 1-3 normally is. That looks like it might be Fire Fort. I think that's the one that's a different color.
Indeed it is, and it turns out that the fort that Glutamic Acid played was the one that broke the lock that only guards the Mushroom House, so he'll have to play the other.
Well, at least he gets a free item. Anyway, we are looking at 1-3 and 1-5 respectively right now. 1-3 has some bombs in it today, it looks like, and his Sledge Brother. Is he going to go for the item? He is.
Looks like he will. He's got that duck, and he'll be going behind Toad's house to clear off whatever he finds back.
Pro tip, it's not a whistle.
Absolutely. With our flag sets being a Warpless run, we can't get a whistle in any of the places where whistles would be. They'll be random.
It turns out in this case it was a Fire Flower, so he found a Fire Flower behind that thing today.
And both runners enter 5F2 with DaveLindo a slight advantage. However, Glutamic Acid is bringing the Fire Flower if he can keep it to the... Lindo sees that our opening is made to stage 6 and to the rest of the world, so he goes in and gets a nasty hit off of a green paratroopa that was hiding out there, but he gets a...
Starman gives a little temporary relief, but only so far, because now we're going to get on this elevator, and that Paragoomba didn't want to live, I guess.
Sometimes they've got other plans. They're paying their own 100-coin toll.
And that Goomba also fell in the pit, and now we're getting 2 lives for DaveLindo. Of course, mechanic of Super Mario Bros. 3 normally. If you get 3 of the same card, you get 2, 3, or 5 lives if it's a mushroom, flower, or scarf.
Now with the randomized worlds for the Hammer Brothers, any stage for the Hammer Brothers can appear anywhere, and DaveLindo finds a really nasty one with 2 Fire Brothers in on a cloud stage. Could have been worse, but he still did very well, handled it like a champ. Awesome play there on that Hammer Brother.
And he did it very nicely as well, very nicely done. So both runners are now in 1-2. Glutamic Acid is leaving 1-2 as DaveLindo crushes one of the jumping mini Goomba bricks in 1-2.
And it's helpful to point out that so far, Acid has kept his Fire Flower all the way through for a while now, a couple of stages. So he's playing without taking hits and making good work of the Hammer Brother.
Yep, and that's a very good thing to do. If you can maintain your power up, it gives you a slight advantage being able to damage boost if you need to for speed purposes, or in this case, having fire to, you know, try to fry our lovely friend Larry a little quicker, which he's not actually doing.
It looks like Larry has a little bit of a delay. He is strong, Larry. Maximum of 5 hits. So Ludwig takes the first one, and DaveLindo is working on. Oh, Larry juked him out on that.
That was a nice juke out on the 4th hit. So yeah, that was a beefy Larry today, and the beef has already started here. We're gonna see if all the other Koopa kids can, you know, stand up to stuff here. Mama always said life was like a box of hammers.
I just hope that they some days break the locks.
Tanuki suit from the princess, and we're on to World 2, and there's the quicksand stage behind a lock, so we have to go to the castle.
This one will be the vanilla World 2 castle, although as we saw, castles, or the fortresses can appear in worlds other than the ones that they are native to. There will always be at least one of the fortresses that is original to that world in the level. Glutamic acid using some strats. He's definitely trying to keep his Fire Flower power as he goes into the Boom Boom fight, which does help make quick work of Boom Boom. DaveLindo demonstrating the damage boosting strategy of trying to get through it faster, and manages to get that with just one cycle on the blocks raising and lowering.
I find it interesting that he actually went and looked for the power-up instead of just going straight on if he was planning to go through it fast, because he found the leaf there, changes Tanuki suit for a leaf. Same mechanic, he actually gave up the statue freeze ability. Maybe he doesn't want that.
So glutamic acid picked up a couple of, well, did not make any matches in the in-card panel, but he's moving on into this next stage. DaveLindo, I did not see, he's got enough points to have triggered the in-card. Did he trigger it in World 1?
He might have. I don't see him having the card now, so he might not have played it in World 1. Either that or he played it and we missed it, and he just gained a slight lead because glutamic acid did play it. Ooh, hammer.
Hammer. So, well, this will be the last that we see this season of the hammers being able to break the locks as well as the rocks. And DaveLindo decides to lock and gets advantage of, is able to skip quite a few stages this way. Glutamic acid, though, right on his tail.
Oh, that's not a good spot to be in. Oh my.
Oh.
He got out, though.
Yeah. Having that stun lock from the Hammer Brother.
Oh, this 2-4 is dangerous. Be careful here.
So we got some advanced platforming going on.
Oh!
Oh!
This almost sank, except DaveLindo got a 5-up, so that's going to give glutamic a slight lead again.
And glutamic does decide to go in and play the Sledge Brother. DaveLindo's going to skip it. Glutamic gets a music box for his efforts. That could prove helpful, commonly used in World 7, especially in these flag sets, to skip the Piranha plant.
But at the same time, we have a lot of worlds left, so that's not going to be anything Dave misses at this point. Oh, that is something that Dave's going to miss, though. That to Morton is going to hurt.
Indeed, he had a wand shot thrown right over his head, and he was trying to figure out where to jump in between it, and he wasn't able to get any spot that was to his advantage.
And it looks like a 3-hit Morton, and Dave does play the Hammer Brothers stage now, looking for a power-up, I'm sure, and realizes all he has is a paltry music box that's going to do nothing for him.
And that star is not going to help him either, because by the time he gets actually to Morton, it will be disappeared, and it wouldn't be able to do anything but keep him from being hurt by Morton in the first place. So,
yeah,
you can't get Koopa kills with star.
Yeah, not like Boom Boom. Oh, it's a 4-hit more, and I miscounted. My bad. My mistake.
So the Princess Letter is a cloud, and glutamic acid finds himself going into the 3F2 fort, the flooded fortress, right off the bat. So he'll do some precision swimming here, and hopefully, without any trouble, make his way down to a standard Boom Boom fight with just a couple of bricks overhead to try to mess things up.
The number of times you have to fight Boom Boom in this game is pretty standard to be able to do this fight quickly at this point. So I don't think a couple bricks are going to give him many issues.
Most runners I've encountered, by the time you get to the point where you're fighting Boom Boom, it's just a routine 3 stomp and you're out.
And the lock opened is the one next to the pipe. Is that pipe going to be useful? We're going to find out later.
So going in here to our electro water swimming stage. Glutamic acid making a couple of moves to try to keep away from the Big Berthas as he negotiates the upper parts of the route.
And DaveLindo starts his standard Boom Boom fight. Glutamic acid is avoiding all the electric jellyfish. Electric jellyfish are one of those enemies I don't like. You can't do anything to hurt them. They're just there as a permanent obstacle.
So glutamic acid clears 3-5 very quickly, and DaveLindo is now entering it and takes a blooper hit. Sniped. And with glutamic acid having taken some ample notes on his first try through the end card stage, is going through his second attempt and has made several matches now. But he clears out, and we'll see what items he gets, maybe.
Maybe. I see a coin ship up there, by the way.
He's not going to show us his inventory now as he enters 3-4. The 3-4 typically does have, or in the vanilla game, has a lack of 2 all the way at the ends of the stage after this vertical pipe, and it still does have a lack of 2 coming around. Well,
there it is.
There he is.
We knew he'd come through for us. And both runners finished different stages, and we're going back to the map in different areas. Dave, I think is about a stage behind at this point. There's Dave's end card game.
And it looks like he's going to pass on it. He may have decided that his strategy is going to be to play without taking the end card. There is some discussion, some debate about whether or not taking it is worth it. Every item takes a little bit of time, but every item has the potential at least to be useful. And DaveLindo found himself in that little moat where he needed to be able to hit the Kaizo block to get up to jump over it, but
it is possible. It is possible to jump over without the Kaiser block, but that Koopa Paratroopa appearing in the middle of the ramp just makes that really, really difficult.
And there he goes. Gets himself that little bit of P-speed that he needs to get out of the way. Now he's got a Fire Flower, so that'll help him out.
Yeah, the issue now is that he's about 2 stages behind. He's going to have things go well for him at this point.
We'll get a chance now to look at what Glutamic Acid's map looks like, and he's got an opportunity to finish off a fort that may or may not be necessary. He's going to take the Hammer Brothers to see if that pipe is where he needs to go first, so he can get a quick visit out to Wendy.
Meanwhile, Coin Ship gave upon us a hammer.
And as we check our pipe, we go back to the overworld to find out that he does not need to take any more visits to any stages, so he's going to go into the airship and visit Wendy, and with any luck, he'll be done quite quickly.
And DaveLindo has already quickly finished his next stage, so Glutamic Acid going into the Wendy fight. How many hits will Wendy have, or will we just fry her into, crispy Wendy bits? We're going to fry her into crispy Wendy bits.
So we've got grilled Wendy on the right, and we'll see what DaveLindo decides to do on the left.
Yep, there goes the Grebo shoe, and my wand shake brings all the boys to the yard. Okay.
And they say it's better than yours?
I don't know.
I'd like to be able to have enough time to read the dad jokes that are written in the print system. DaveLindo is about to find out the good news about the castle being right next to that pipe. In the meantime, glutamic acid is negotiating the overworld of World 4. Oh, Lakitu decided to try to fake him out with that maneuver there, and he lost his fire flower in the process.
Well, that shouldn't hamper him too badly. I'm sure he'll find another power-up at some point, but this stage is mostly just swim along anyway. You don't need that fire flower right now anyway.
Turns out that it was an earthquakey windy on DaveLindo's side. He does a stomp on one of them in between getting the fire kill on her, and she shook the room.
So we're not going to know how many hits Wendy needed because she just got fried today.
So glutamic acid may have enough information now to be able to clear this in-card stage. We'll find out as he clears out a couple of, well, he gets a couple of stars. He knows where that 10 coin is. It should be right there. And then now he'll have the mushroom he just cleared out, and there goes the star, the stage.
We're going to get to see if he has any good items of that, such as, you know, a Hammer Brother suit. An end card game just appeared for DaveLindo back at the start.
Instead, he's going to go take the fortress, which turns out to be the rolled 6 carpet fortress, 6F2.
And there's a damage boost through the disc, I believe that was, and now he's in Hotfoot territory. They're behaving today, it looks like.
Well, that's nice. I never like when the Hotfoots decide to be all scrolly. Excuse me, it's 6F3 on DaveLindo.
Yeah, they have a mind of their own like they do in 6F3 right now. Or 4F3, sorry.
So Dave makes his way into 4-4, playing, trying to play with Lakitu, and does successfully get the jump kill on Lakitu. At least the first one. He's got that second one and gets his second jump kill. So really ticking it to Lakitu, saying, I don't need you.
And gets sniped all the way out.
Well, he gets one little hit, but otherwise a very nicely done stage. Glutamic acid, though, gets the bridge built, or gets over to the World 4 airship.
And we have our note music. I don't think that helps on ships, though. Okay, Iggy, you are weak. That was a one-hitter.
Yes, it was.
Cloud on the coin ship. That might be something Dave is happy to have. And now there's no point. And now we see the note box was wasted because he didn't even go the path the Hammer Brother was sleeping. He might have been trying to avoid it waking up and landing on top of him after he finished the coin ship, though. That's possible.
DaveLindo doing some nice work, being patient with the thwomps while he lures the booze into where he needs to be. Nice little way of strategizing that fort.
We have Fire Flower on the Princess's 4th letter and Orb. Oh, nice moves by Atomic Acid to keep his leaf.
Indeed it was. Nice play there, and we got ourselves... he's got a couple of stages lead now as he moves into the next stage of World 5 while DaveLindo uses a frog suit to get an extra hit point on his way into the World 4 airship.
Come on, Dave. You know you're supposed to use that for Bowser.
glutamic acid showing that how it's done in the fortress, the 5F1 fortress.
Dave gets his magic scepter, and Glutamic Acid gets another circular orb. And plays cards.
So as we see, 5-9 is in the path of that bridge. If either runner has a cloud, that probably would be a high candidate for a cloud.
There it is, just as you called it.
And he's probably going to use that star just to make sure that he doesn't get taken out of the Hammer Brothers, as he does. And there we go. So we don't have to worry about him having to lose the progress of that cloud.
And there was a star right there anyway, not that he needed it. DaveLindo now in, I believe this is 5-8. And Glutamic fighting more Hammer Brothers.
He sees that pipe over there.
Oh!
Oh, that was a nasty snipe. So glutamic acid knows that pipe is going to go to the upper level, and he sees a choice of paths. He's going to take, looks like he's going to look at taking a cloud through, no, he's going to play 5-6.
Nope, changes his mind. He's looking at his cloud inventory. He knows what levels are coming up. This is an advantage in this mode. You know what levels are going to be coming up in each world because, you know, there's some bad levels in 6 and 7 we don't want to play. He knows he might need a cloud over those. He's going to keep the clouds for those, and he's just going to play this level instead.
5-6 has some delicate platforming, but not really any extreme difficulty, and if you're patient, you can get through it relatively unscathed, as he demonstrated.
And he skips right past that spiral fort. We know he doesn't have to take that fort. It would probably take him to the pipe right above it anyway, so...
And clouds through 5-5 as well, gets his way into the fortress, or the airship, where we'll meet Roy.
That's the moon jumping Roy.
Moon jumping with his sunglasses and takes at least 3, well, no, down to 4 hits. And he's a 5-minute moon jumper.
That's the moon jumping beef right there. Dave also skipping 5-9, and he's also using the note block, so he doesn't have to worry about the Hammer Brothers either. He's just going to go straight to the sky.
So as he makes his way into the sky, he decides he's going to take, well, he's going to take the 1, which is World 1-1.
This replaces the Fire Fort, which was located in World 1 today, so this is the replacement for the Fire Fort. When a fort appears in a world that's not normally in, a level from that new home of that fort ends up going to the world where that fort used to be, and that's what happened here.
There was an angry sun, making it a little bit more challenging than normal, but with the extra hit he had to give from his power-up, he just ends up finishing it as Super Mario, and glad that he is able to do that because he ends up
Oh boy.
in...
Oh
no.
boy. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Got him.
There he goes. Very difficult on those water stages with the Hammer Brothers.
Yeah, that unfortunately wasn't hammers. That's actually even worse, I think. But the boomerangs you can at least see an arc and be able to plan for them coming in a certain pattern, whereas the hammers can just go wherever they need to go.
In the meantime, glutamic acid has extended his lead, making his way into deep into World 6. He's in 6F2 now.
Oh! He jumped straight into the moon jump.
And that means he's also going to have to go back onto the other side of 5-5 where he spent his cloud.
That's a costly error right there. So now he has to play that 5-5. At least it's a quick stage. Doesn't take too long to do, but still time wasted. This time he keeps the Tanuki suit, and now he loses it.
So glutamic acid going back to play another fortress from earlier, and it's 6F1. We'll see how he decides to play this. So 6F1 offers a few varieties of ways to play it. depending on the power-ups and your current power-up situation, he's just going to take the ride on the lift. He skips both of the first two power-ups. See what he does with the third one. He picks the third one and turns out to be a fire flower, which will expedite his boom boom.
And Dave is fighting moon jumping. Good gracious. You gotta be kidding me. Roy, please, stay still.
That's just bad, random RNG right there all the way around.
So Dave finally gets through the World 5 airship as glutamic acid is on the World 6 airship. Starting to look like the writing's on the wall here, but we'll see what happens. Anything can still happen. There are still levels that can cause trouble, and it's not over until Bowser croaks.
Absolutely. World 7 has some nasty sectors that have been telling for runners through this. Oh, one hit, Lemmy.
Oh, as LOZ Cars fan would say, that's his trademark shrimp right there.
So we got micro shrimp. One hit, that's not even really shrimp. That's like plankton.
I could probably come up with a fish scale for how many hits the Koopa Kid takes, but it takes too much effort.
The glutamic acid picks up a music box as he enters World 7. Let's see, 7-1 and locked, or a lock that he's going to break instead of playing 7-1. Oh, wow. World 7 is practically free.
Wow, it's going to come down to a very nasty World 8 to give DaveLindo any possibility here. And even then, he has to find the path if Glutamic stalls on it for a while.
Oh, that hit on the dry bones, taking away DaveLindo's mushroom as he gets bounced right back up into the swamp. I don't think there's anything you can do about that.
Ooh. Taking an unfortunate death on that, and if he does that again, he's going to have to deal with the Piranha stage. Not that it's a big deal, but still something you don't want to do if you're trying to skip it.
Absolutely. You spent that music box. You'd like to actually get the benefit out of it.
Yeah, like, some music.
But that's not why I spend the music box. It's to not have to do the piranhas.
Well, there is that too, but the music is the benefit, right?
Oh, yeah. Jukebox Mario.
Yep. Ooh, Dave finding the bridge has to be built, so he has to find another fort. Was that a two-hitter?
So I believe that was DaveLindo, like glutamic acid is, going to take the long ride on the lift.
So Larry and Morton gave us hope for some beefy Koopas this seed, but everyone else just let us down.
And a wild Tanuki appears.
Get your command in chat, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to World 8. Ha ha ha! By the way, Koopa does give you an item in his letter, but you don't see it. It's just in the randomizer. In the normal game, he doesn't give you anything.
And here we go. In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas. In the Navy, you can do as you please. You can join your fellow man in the Navy, Glutamic acid makes very quick work on Boom Boom. At the end of the Navy, that will unlock a door or build a bridge. We'll find out here in a moment if we see it's the door right in front of us. It's not.
Don't see it. Dave on the World 6 airship gets a Starman. He's going to move on to World 3 very shortly. Jeez, that basically might as well worked on Lemmy. It was one hit.
Glutamic acid finds that we've got one of the pipes. It's not it. He tries a second pipe that he sees in front of him, and we'll see where we go here. We're in the spotlight region of World.
By the way, 2 pipes and a stage 8-2 located on Handbridge today.
And let's see what's in this last pipe. Maybe that one will take us to where we want to go. Oh my.
Oh my. That was what we needed. We needed a bridge from that. That was free.
Yes, it was. So, looks like the Navy built the bridge, and after that, World 8 is cake. All he's got to do now is take the fight to Bowser.
And he doesn't have any hammer the suits. I don't think we saw any in this seed, unfortunately. So we're going to have to do this the somewhat more lengthy way. This will not be a sub 30 as a result.
Glutamic acid is trying for that clip, but wasn't able to get it. Takes his way on into the rest of the upper stage.
Notice the extra laser as well. Those statues are all randomized as to whether they fire or not. And 1 and 3 fire, the rest do not.
Oh, that was nasty fireballs coming out, which are also randomized by our friend Fred, who makes Glutamic have to deal a nasty Bowser fight here.
He almost ended up in a really bad position where he would have actually gotten crushed, but he got over just in time to stay underneath Bowser's feet. And I don't know why Bowser's feet are not able to damage you. It doesn't make sense.
And here we go. Looks like this will be the end.
And bye, Bowser.
So Bowser takes the fall.
And that means that this does now confirm who is going to advance in the brackets. So all Glutamic Acid has to do is walk through that door, and he will be advancing in the brackets. We still have another race, but he does advance with an official SRL time of, I'll get it here, of 30 minutes and 28 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. Very good time.
Very nice run, GG to Glutamic Acid. And DaveLindo is still working in World 7. Which, as we saw, didn't really require all that much to do, but he chose not to break the lock that was on the starting screen, choosing instead to play the...
Oh, and look what we found. We found 7-8. This is nasty.
Especially when you're trying to get that fire, or that Venus fire trap to spawn and despawn the right spot to make the jump.
This means that Dave took a different route compared to Glutamic Acid. He's on a route that we don't need to take.
That's correct. He played 7-1 for the so he played 7-1 and instead of breaking that lock. Right. Well, he didn't break that lock, even though he did have a hammer I saw in his inventory. Well, looks like both of those pipes went over there. So he's...
Yeah. He found an alternate path, so that worked out for him.
Oh, with luck, he'll find out that he, unfortunate picking a mushroom there.
I'm sure Dave has seen that at this point the Glutamic Acid has finished. The runners would have no idea during the race as to where either is in the, in terms of how to compare it. So the first time they know is when the other runner types done in the chat. And he surely has seen that now and probably knows that he's missing something here and that World 8 is probably free as well.
DaveLindo gets through the broken airships portion very quickly. Now he'll be the one to take Ludwig.
Who also moon jumps.
But only takes 2 hits to go away.
So DaveLindo is going to be advancing to World 8 in a moment. Glutamic Acid is going to take a little bit of a break here as we get to watch Dave finish. He's going to put in a finish on the seed, and then we'll get ready for Game 2 after that. So we'll talk about the Game 2 seed as we get to that. And we're actually going to talk a little bit about the bracket plays later on as well, because that's what's going to be coming up in the next broadcast you see here. We're going to be doing a slightly different seed than what we're going to see for the second seed this race. We'll talk about that later as well.
And we did actually see last night an example of the bracket stage with the play-in match that occurred last night.
Oh, I missed that. Very nice, yeah. So if you watched last night, you probably saw that.
So last night's was between Dust Minion and Zodiac Dread. That was also on SpeedGaming, and I believe the VOD is up on the SpeedGaming channel. If you click on the video section, you should be able to see that now. And that would give a good preview of what the bracket stages will look like. There's slightly different rules that we'll discuss in a minute. DaveLindo has not played the Navy yet, so he'll find out that he's got to build a bridge to get across Bowser's Castle. He's going to take a look and see what's available.
I should note as well, while we're talking about VODs, that these VODs are also up on our SpeedGaming channel. I believe it's SpeedGaming, actually it's just a SpeedGaming channel on YouTube, and you're able to bring up all the VODs for this tournament and other tournaments linked to the past, regular Legend of Zelda, Chrysalis Randomizer. Basically everything that we do here on SpeedGaming is on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, on our YouTube playlist, feel free to pop around the playlist here and look at the other races as well. That play-in race is probably going to follow this one in the list. So go down and watch that after this if you are interested in that to see the bracket flags.
DaveLindo has awfully goed into the Wild Blue yonder, but he's going to find out that just broke a lock and did not actually do anything that he wanted it to do. Now he's going to end up in the Super. Just like the Air Force and the Navy, the Super Tanks also breaks a lock or opens a door, or breaks a lock or builds a bridge, because it completes in about a Boom Boom fight as well. So this isn't a bad play at all if you're unsure of where it is that you need to go. But he will find out shortly that he does need to go back and play the Navy again.
Yeah, the Navy is exactly what we needed today. It was just that one stage today that had to be done. Very, very pre-World 8 compared to having to do all 5 of them.
Although World 8 Fortress is my favorite fortress in the game, so I'd never have a problem seeing it.
Your favorite one to watch them do? Oh, except that.
Except that, yes.
That's not the favorite thing to watch them do.
No, it's not. Much prefer them succeeding in it, especially the part where you get that one cycle with the P-switch. That's an awesome trick to do, and excellent demonstration of skill when you see it happen.
Picks up the Tanuki and takes the Fire Flower. And he's going to go for that one cycle now, I believe. Oop, takes a hit. That's going to slow him down. He's going to get stuck in the doors. That doesn't help. That also does not help. He has to go all the way around. This is painful, folks.
Let's see, I believe he'll probably try for that power up there in the middle door. Let's see what we have. Oh, it is a star. That is very helpful.
Can he run over in time? I don't know. He might get it. He does.
Yes,
Orb.
We do have him. We do have Orb this time. Or Bro, depending on which one you think is backwards.
Rob?
Or? PBR. Oh, that's another game, chat. Not this one.
DaveLindo finds 8-1 and says no thanks and goes to find another pipe.
Especially since at this point he knows he doesn't need to play an overworld stage, but he
and
does see
he now knows he now knows he needs the bridge.
And there's also the wrong side of World 1 to try to get there. I believe this one might take him back to the hand bridge part. There we are.
Welcome to the pipe maze of World 8. And there's the Navy, and he's not playing the Navy.
No, he picked the wrong de-auto-scrolled military stage.
I hope he doesn't go straight back to Bowser's Castle after doing this, because it'll take a lot longer for him to go back to Bowser's Castle than just play Navy and take a chance on it.
I think when he sees he may already realize the mistake, but I think when he sees the Hammer Brother or Boomerang Brother at the end, he'll know that he needs to go do something else at the fire part of this time.
Yeah, he'll know he picked the wrong stage here. In fact, as soon as you go into that stage, you can just take an instant death if it's not your way and go do something else because you know that's the one that you're going to have to do.
But he does go back and play the Navy stage instead of trying to make his way to Bowser's keep. So, good call on that end.
Yeah, he realized that he didn't fight a Boom Boom, and that was the problem. So bridge should now be built. He can make his way back to Bowser's Castle now. We know this because we saw Glutamic Acid do it.
One pipe, 2 pipes, and 3 pipes.
Three pipes! 3 pipes! Ah!
4 pipes. Checking out the inventory, realizes he's got a star, but nothing else that's going to help him for now. Unfortunate, but he should be able to get a power-up on the way in that'll help him out.
Some kind of power up.
The Everyman clip from Nintendo Power. Done successfully. Going to the little route to try to get that Fire Flower. Needs to come out from the other direction, I believe. There we go.
Yeah, he fell down the lower level. I think that might... Oh,
Oh,
it's
no!
not... Oh, no! Yeah, I gotta hate to see that.
Huddleberg rooms can be so enticing and then so dangerous.
You can almost hear the panic in his voice. It's like, no, I hit it! I hit the donut!
Oh no,
And-
Boo Diddley.
Yeah, the Boo also hit him. He has 8 lives left. Lots of juice left to potentially finish this. But he's going to have to start small. This is the consequence of not playing the end card games. It makes it a lot more challenging because you don't have a lot of items to take with you into the final part of the game. And he might be thinking about those end card games now, thinking maybe that could have helped him here.
Oh, gets a disco waffle to the face.
Discos are not fun. Yeah, he was about to hit the one-up block and realized, oh wait, I can't clip here. There's no point doing this. He can still take the one-up if he wants to ensure he doesn't run out of lives, but the trick will be getting down through those discs in a good fashion and then getting up those platforms in a way that most speedrunners don't normally think about because they can usually just skip them.
And with the Disco Waffles movement being slightly, somewhat randomized, at least they go the same direction, but it's still not an easy trick to negotiate that. And he's going to try to go back to the upper level.
He got
Gets
this
it
time. Oh, gets the clip too. Very nice. First try too. First try. So after this brief intermission, we'll introduce everyone's favorite turtle again. Here's Bowser.
And hello, Bowser. How you doing? And there goes one hit.
He's gonna do this the more classic way, letting him jump at you, and now he's gonna have to. It's not gonna be fun. Nope.
Oh, ooh. Bowser taking a hard diagonal jump.
Question in chat as to what that was. That was just a very unfortunate event.
So I think DaveLindo was attempting to. Well, it's just he got into a wrong spot, trying to juke him out, and Bowser just jumped right on into that upper level above where the door is.
At this point, I think he just wants to finish this for personal vindication.
He's he's going for that clip again and gets it on the second try.
Now, will he stay under Bowser's feet this time? That is the question.
That would be the important part of the trick. I don't know if anybody saw Mitch Flower Power actually this week had... Oh, I haven't seen that before.
Neither have I. He is going to stay in Bowser's feet this time.
Okay, now he's got it into that little, into the groove where he can just stick back and forth.
And Bowser's looking in the other direction, but that's fine. We don't have to worry about this one. He'll be able to stand up under Bowser and not get hit. And bye, Bowser.
So
Nice
ladies
sound.
and gentlemen, offer your GGs for DaveLindo, who's about to finish up as soon as he opens this door.
Nice hourglass shape there as well. Official SRL time of 44 minutes and 39 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get ready for game number 2 between DaveLindo and Glutamic Acid. Unfortunately, Glutamic Acid has already advanced, so there's not really much on the line with it. But what we will do, we will guide you through the second seed, and we will talk later about the bracket flags as well, for those who have not already seen them. So make sure you stay with us. We will be right back here on SpeedGaming.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final race for the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer 2020 group stage before we enter the bracket stage. I am Diesel Pilot. I'm here with my partner Cyclone.
Hello again. So we have to talk a little bit about the last race that finished. We did come into this setup today looking to finalize the final member of our bracket. And we've already done that. Glutamic Acid got the win he needed. He defeated DaveLindo in the first race. He went to 3-2. DaveLindo is now 1-4. DaveLindo is unable to participate in the tournament going forward. But we still have another race to do here. And we're going to get the sound switched on right now, so we're going to get that set up to go here. So we're going to talk about the second flag set. Do you want to talk a little bit about that flag set, Diesel Pilot?
Indeed. So this flag set, the flag set 2 for the last bracket, or for the group stage, what we'll do is, as you see, the world that you enter is randomized for each phase of the play. So every time you enter a new world, there's no way to know for sure what one you're going to get. And when you enter any action stage, you have no idea what action stage you're going to enter. The numbers on the action stage make no corresponding information to whatever is going to be on the inside of it, except that all the action stages that either enter in a roulette card or an item, such as the hand stages, are shuffled together, and all of the stages that are a fort or somehow end in a boom boom room, like the Koopa Military, those will all be shuffled together.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of predictability, but not much. All the stages are completely randomized. And also, we had beta stages involved in this as well. So we're going to get to see the beta layouts of stages that did not make it into the game, or were old versions of stages that were done a different way, and those maps were included in the game. And these ones were not. So we're going to see a few of those possibly as well if we're lucky, including potentially the fabled Atlantis, which is the only other auto-scroller that we have turned on in this randomizer.
So yes, we do have all the auto-scrolling levels turned off, including the airships and worlds like 1-4 that were typically you would play them and it would take you as long as it took the screen to move. However, unlike in the vanilla game, in this randomized stage with the auto-scrolling turned off, you can just run it as fast as you can run it, which means P-speed strats can be practical for worlds that otherwise wouldn't make that available to you.
But we have to note that 5.9 still is an auto-scroller because it won't function correctly without it. And again, I mentioned Atlantis. That one is an auto-scroller because, well, I guess it wouldn't work without it. We are in, it looks like 1.5 beta here. And this is kind of like a pyramid type entrance. So I think what they did is they took this beta and just turned it into 2 stages, basically. Because this is now the 1.5 mechanic going up above ground here.
And we also have a exit that's reminiscent of World 5. Oh, no. Take that Koopa hit. Glutamic acid showing you how it's done, though. You knock the Koopa shell into the Venus fire trap when he's right up and deployed, and knocks him right out. And that allows glutamic acid to also clear this World 1.5 beta.
And DaveLindo is still in World 1.5 beta, having taken that loss of a life there. And taking another loss of a life to a fireball.
Meantime, glutamic acid has entered Fort Knox, our World 7 abandoned fortress, and he's going to take a flower and then make his way back to the giant brick room so that he can activate the P-switch and get his Tanuki.
Seeing Fort Knox early is not fun from that perspective. You have to do a little running around just to set it up. But once you have your power up, you can go get your Tanuki suit and you can go fly to the sky.
The Tanuki suit, one of the few items in the game that also has not been randomized due to the need for it to be established as a fixed power-up in order for you to actually complete the level. Nobody wants to enter a game, a randomizer game, that turns out to be soft-locked, and the randomizer tournament is no exception. So away glutamic acid goes into that pipe way high in the top of the roof as DaveLindo enters and finds out as well that he's in Fort Knox and will be doing roughly the same path as glutamic acid.
And it's worth knowing that the power up here cannot be a star main either for the same reason you were just talking about. You have to be able to get a mushroom to break the bricks in the event that don't have any items to break bricks with. So you have to be able to get that, and for that reason, this has to have a mushroom there as well. So that will not be randomized either. That could possibly, I think that's still a fire flower if you have a mushroom too, but you're never going to see anyone get the fire flower there.
That's correct. It is a fire flower, which forces you to take this route that DaveLindo and glutamic acid already played.
Oh, we already found the castle. Very nice.
So, World 3 takes a few stages to get through, but it's not too troublesome this time.
So, guess how many hits we're going to have on our crew kit here.
And keeping in mind that despite the fact that we have the World 7 airship that he's playing through, he will have Wendy at the end of it, since this was the water overworld stage.
And Wendy is in a very uncomfortable environment for Wendy to move around in, and she's earthquaking. And glutamic acid eats some candy. And that's a 4-hit Wendy.
So, little mini Baconator Wendy with the 4 hits.
It's the son of Baconator, that's what I call it.
Son of Baconator. Or daughter of Baconator.
No, it's actually a menu item.
Ah, I need to go back to Wendy's.
You sunk my battleship! Well, you can build another one, right?
I guess so. Why not? DaveLindo sticking his face. Oh, we have a leaf as we enter World.
We're in World 1, so Larry will be at the end of this world, but what airship will we have to go on? What stages will we have to go through? Well, Pyramid's one of them.
And with the leaf at the beginning of it, glutamic acid is going to bypass the buzzy beetles that are otherwise kept in this stage in order to make them completely playable.
I'm not sure if the leaf is always there in some way, but I know the buzz beetles have to be, and you have to be able to break the bricks with them, because I think the leaf might actually be randomized as well.
I believe it is. I'm pretty sure I've seen stars and maybe even 1-ups.
Yeah, going into that stage small, only finding a star, it's like, are you really going to force me to go after these beetles? Really?
In fact, I know I've seen stars because I've seen players have to wait for the star to expire before they can continue on.
Exactly. Oh, Piranha 4, everyone's favorite fort in the game. Except for World 8 Fort.
Not my favorite fort, not at all. This is like my anti-favorite.
You're lying, it's your favorite fort.
Okay, yeah, I'll lie and say I'm lying.
Excellent.
Glutamic acid, though, making the play, taking it very well. Gets, well, there he goes. Turns his back on Boo Diddley to get him right where he wants him, gets to that last exit pipe. And as he gets there with the large Mario, he'll probably damage boost his way through here, just to not have to deal with... Yep, there he goes.
He does damage boost. I've heard that referred to in the community as the Tunnel of Tough Love, or the Tunnel of Love, because you're going to have to cuddle up to something in there.
DaveLindo also showing once again how to enter the world with a frog suit just so that you can get rid of it. And
we have a boss bass in 7.5. Yeah, we're not going to play that. Thank you very much.
And glutamic acid looking at it and saying, no, I've got a star. Oh, it looks like he's going to... Oh, he's going to use both of his items.
Yeah, that's a stage you avoid if you can with the Hammer Brother right behind it. That's a worthwhile skip. Dave having trouble with Wendy and Earthquakey Wendy. That's a game over.
Oh no, that could...
You don't want to see that in the first world. That is painful.
And it looks like he also has a few stages he's going to be forced to replay as well.
Yeah.
Chat, the way the game over mechanics work is you keep all of your items, all of the action stages that have numbers on them get reset. They get turned back on. All the fortresses or other boom boom levels stay crumbled. Any locks or bridges that they built stay built or broken. And you get 5 fresh lives. So it's not really a game over. In fact, last night's match between our 2 contestants, both of them took game overs at some point in it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do that with the bracket plays, which we'll talk about later, because you don't have certain things, certain safeties that would otherwise be in play. So it's more easy to get a game over in that kind of play set as well.
So glutamic acid finds a side salad Larry instead of side salad Wendy, and clears the fortress very quickly.
Dave is just going to try to fire Wendy. Wendy has been successfully fired.
Successful kill, so good job, Dave.
By the way, something was pointed out, and I thought I saw a beta stage there. The 1.6 beta was in the 1.6 location on World 1. So we have a Fred call in chat.
I'll accept that Fred call.
So yeah, Dave is a world behind at this point. This pretty much almost suggests that, again, it's not over till it's over. Glutamic acid could have issues somewhere as well. He only has 4 lives himself. And could run into issues himself. But a world behind is going to be quite a deficit to make up here.
Absolutely, but every world has the opportunity to present some sort of challenge, regardless of what it is. Ooh. And I saw, I believe it was, I think it was 2-3 last night. They ended up presenting a particular challenge to one of the runners.
That Paragoon just appeared out of nowhere.
I think I've heard that called a lot from commentators this tournament. That looked like a sky-jumping Hammer Brother, too. So, glutamic acid making his way through one of our World 7 stages.
Dave fighting the 7-5 Boss Bass lunch menu. Says no thank you, and let's use a leaf and make sure I don't have to go back and do that.
But that bridge still needs to be built on the other side.
Oh, did he not do the castle?
I don't believe so.
Oh, and he lost the lead. He lost the lead. He has to do 7-5. He has to do 7-5.
Yeah, you see that castle is still done.
He must have realized. He must have realized after the stage. He's like, "Oh no, I just goofed."
And entering 7F2 is Small Mario. This is not gonna. This hurts, but he does get the star. Yeah. So, and 7F2 is ouch. So 7F2 is being played in the World 1 overworld, which means that the piranha plants are only going to be firing one little fireball at a time.
That's actually a good thing for this sport, because this is a dangerous sport when you're dealing with normal piranha plant firing. Actually, isn't it based on the color of the piranha plant?
No, the piranha plants will shoot 2 in every world except World 1.
Oh, regardless of
color. Correct.
Everyone get ready for more lunch if glutamic acid is in the mood to feed fish. I think the fish is in a spot where it's not going to get much of a meal, though.
It should be. He does need to be careful on that exit pipe, but he gets through it, and now he enters to the real exit pipe. And DaveLindo, saying that he's low on inventory items, enters the Toad House and gets a Tanuki suit. Also, Toad Houses, if you're wondering, Toad Houses will also get reset in the event of a game up.
That's correct.
Nice play to take out Boss Bass really quick, and if he's able to do it, he'll spawn Boss Bass in this top area. If you can wait for a second, there he goes.
He did it. Nice.
So, spawns Boss Bass in the top area. That'll make things a lot easier as he comes down here and makes his way into. Oh wow, he's putting on a clinic of how to actually get rid of enemies here.
This is going really well. This is really nice. Boss Bass tried to get a meal there, didn't succeed. Oh, very nicely played.
He should be able to. Oh, he drops down below that gap, but he'll have another opportunity to clean it back up. He almost was able to keep his P speed enough to stay over these. Got to be careful here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough spot with Boss Bass. He has to grab a block and try to hang on long enough to kill the fish. Not working very well. Not working very well at all. There it goes.
Oh,
get out quickly, get out quickly.
There he goes. He's got one more.
No! Oh no!
Oh. Boss
He was
Bass
doing so well.
stone.
He was doing so well.
Wow. So glutamic acid on the other side sees that he's got a. He was down to 4 lives, so he picked up the fireworks of 5 stars as he's playing World 2, and he's got to go back in. Oh, he's going to go play the in-card game and pick up a few more items from it. It looks like he should have enough information to clear out that pretty well. Not nearly as exciting of a play as this Boss Bass play.
No. So as we continue to see the Boss Bass shenanigans in 7.5, we have glutamic acid on what is for him the World 3 airship. It's actually the World 5 airship.
Yeah, so World 5 airship appearing in World 3, and Morton Koopa, the World 2 boss, appears in the World 3 spot. And fire beats salt. DaveLindo right back again in that. Oh,
round 2.
Almost had it.
Wow! Boss Bass, please, eat a block. Thank you. Oh, that was a nice kill.
Nice kill there.
Bat Spot, get out quick! Get out! Get out! Get out!
He's got to get out.
Oh! You can hear the alarms going, and they just wouldn't stop.
And so those Kaizo blocks block you off from getting through there, but he's down to back to no items, and he's gonna have to play it again.
Yeah, this is just painful at this point.
The glutamic acid's checking some pipes in World 7. He's got a choice of levels to play, and he's going to pick up. Looks like this is going to be this is 4-6. The doors, and in the randomizer, actually both sides of the doors get randomized. So if you decide that you really don't like the enemy set on one side, you can go enter the doors and get a different enemy set. DaveLindo is making some excellent plays. If he can just get his routing to properly get through this stage, he would.
He's keeping the fish below now, which might be a good move, because that's going to give him a better chance of surviving in case he gets caught in that Kaizo block area up top.
I think that's what he's concerned about. The glutamic acid finds a fortress, turns out to be the Super Tanks fort from World 8. And since it's D-auto scroll, D-speed strats. Oh,
good jump, good jump.
Nice play there.
And now we don't deal with Boss Bass here, which helps plenty.
Indeed, he gets his way out of these areas, doesn't have to deal with the Kaizo blocks, keeping him in with the hungry fish, and this should get him out.
No!
Commentator's curse.
Diesel, you had to say something.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, 1,000 ways to feed Boss Pass.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling than being fish food.
I'd never known before that you would actually feed Boss Bass even as a statue. I don't think I'd ever thought to try it out.
Well, let's look at it this way. Why would Boss Bass not be able to eat a statue? He just eats anything at his level when he jumps up.
Anything except somebody carrying a Starman.
Yeah, because he can't swallow you if you're invincible.
I do enjoy sometimes letting Boss Bass catch up to me when I'm running with a Starman, just to make him, just for the revenge.
Yeah, it's a nice, yeah, you want to eat me, eat this.
Glutamic acid entering a Piranha stage finds a star at the end of it. So the Piranha stages are relatively short, even though they're still required. Then sort of the Hammer Brother. Oh,
How did Dave get eaten there? That's another game over. That's 3 game overs for him.
oh.
Dave's probably Dave probably right now is just like, Glutamic, make it end, please.
Let's see, he may. Wow.
There's another meal for Boss Bass.
And yes, we got the all-you-can-eat Boss Bass buffet. And glutamic acid is entering the World 2 airship. And he's gonna be able to take a flight over it, as we'll with it being in the place of World 4, but it's in the map of World 7. It's gonna have Ludwig Koopa, as we see here. 2 hits is all.
Oh, you need to take that shell with you. That jumping block is in the way, and you can't slow down or Boss Bass gets you. They're just like, yeah, I'll keep feeding the fish now. The king asking the important questions. How was he to know a Goomba would steal his wand?
I mean, it's a Goomba. You should just expect that.
Oh, the block didn't work on the fish.
He got eaten while carrying the block.
Hitboxes, please.
Yeah, chat, thanks.
Chat is making us laugh, of course.
So, World 5. Oh, I was going to say, we got a slight Fred on glutamic acid's side, as we see World 5 is in the World 5 position.
And the shell is destroyed again. That means we have to deal with the fish. But this time he does get killed with the block. And then Kaizo. And here's the fish again. He kills him again.
Nice. I mean, like I said.
And it falls down again. No.
Oh, he got away from that. But he entered the wrong pipe.
Oops.
Yes, it's Lent, so we're feeding the fish.
Is that how it works?
I guess so. Now, DaveLindo did just find a star in that block, but he's going to find himself Kaizo there as well.
Yep.
He's going to have to go back down.
Just kill another fish. Or let a block kill you. That's one that does not go to Boss Bass.
So DaveLindo is giving a full demonstration of all the ways that you can fight World 7, and all of it really is actually a full exploration of 7.5.
And as DaveLindo continues to have terrors with the enemy set in 7.5, glutamic acid just chugging right along in World 5, which is World 5, as you said earlier.
And the Hammer Brothers give a star.
Comment in chat that the boss bash shenanigans all started as lost input with Januki Maru. That is actually not true. Even if he had completed 1.6 beta at that spot, he would have had to go back and clear the fort in order to build the bridge. So he used the cloud too early, and as a result, he would have had to play this stage no matter what. Just a good thing there was a cloud where it was.
Glutamic Acid's playing the tower now, and wasn't able to use the full P-speed strat, but he's able to get... Whoa!
Maybe glutamic acid? Well, no, glutamic acid's not going to beat the fish. And here's another problematic boss pass situation. Building as much of the bridge as he can, not going to get that last block. Has to go all the way around again. Don't get eaten this time, Dave, please. Everyone's pulling for you to get through the stage.
Please, just take it carefully. You got all you got to do is get out to this exit.
Lieutenant, meanwhile, getting a hammer. I have not been following all the hits he's been getting at all, so I don't know everything going on over there. We were just pulling for DaveLindo, and he finally, at 25 minutes and 55 seconds, completes level 7.5 and is going to move on to World 1.6 Beta.
And let's see what Glutamic Acid has on his side. A boss pass.
A very highly leveled boss pass, apparently. There it is.
Doesn't have as much trouble as DaveLindo does. Gets his roulette card, gets out of it with a star. DaveLindo still needs to clear this overworld level and the airship in order to get himself out of the level. Realizes that those blocks up above him are hard blocks, and he's going to have to be careful with them.
Ooh, that no block is going to be useful for Dave. He's going to have to do it this way. I can see why they changed this level and didn't use this one.
Yeah, it is a very challenging level, and some of it, I believe, had to be partly patched by Fred Coughlin to make it work, but I don't know how much of it he had to rebuild.
I have to look up those beta levels sometimes to see how it differs. So Dave is finally going to complete the World 2 airship. Meanwhile, glutamic acid still chugging along. Hey, look at that! Boss pass in a vanilla stage for once.
Another Fred.
Getting a note from Leslie Pro in the chat for those watching it live on Twitch. The floor in the goal area didn't have collision in the 1.6 beta, apparently, so the floor had to be patched.
And we have a king who's quite hungry. He ordered the pizza 3 hours ago. Well, we were trying to quit beating boss bass, King.
Sorry, King. We were being fed to fish ourselves. We can only do so much here.
DaveLindo enters the door 6 fort and is going to do it just the standard way, instead of trying to do the door 3 glitch or pick up a power-up. And we see our first appearance in these matches of the anchor item. And the anchor item is a random item that is not going to be a... Oh, dangerous jumps there by DaveLindo. The anchor item is not going to be either the whistle or a hammer. So it will be any other random item. We won't know until we actually go to use it. And that's how the anchors work, since there really is no point for an anchor in the randomized stages where the flags are set such that the airship doesn't appear. It doesn't move around, so it wouldn't provide any benefit to the runners otherwise.
I'm seeing Fred in chat. I'm guessing this means the World 2 fort is probably in World 2. No, it's in World 6. Not sure what the Fred was for. That is a nipper, and that ate Dave.
The nippers will either spew fire or they will jump high, and you don't know which ones they do until they go and do it.
Oh, the Nipper Buffet is in the pyramid stage, which is located among the other pyramids today, and I actually think it fits in nicely there. Probably should have just been there.
Glutamic acid's playing another one of our beta stages here. It's sort of like the World 3-4, or maybe the World in 7 with the long green hills also. 7-3. Thank you. Now, DaveLindo finds Boss Bass in our 7-2 stage, and he's gives him some life the first time.
As long as he doesn't fall in the note block gap, he should be fine, but I think he's going to end up having to go down there, and I think he's already not likely to look at this. Oh, Boss jumps. Is that going to cause him to be... No.
So Glutamic Acid's entering in his fight against Lemmy here at 6-minute mark. So he's done 6 worlds now. This is his 6th Koopa airship. And it's at 30 minutes, so since our runners are flying blind, they really don't know what the situation is with the other runner. Now, Glutamic Acid does know, based on the wins, that he's definitely entered the brackets, but he doesn't know...
Dave is trying to build P-speed right now. At this point, I would just try to hit a couple note blocks and bounce off of them.
It would seem to be the better strategy given the amount of time it takes to do this. And losing it right there. It looks like he's gonna go for that now that he's spent all the time and lost it.
Yeah, I would have hit a couple more in the mill just to be safe, jump over the fish a couple times and done that, but he's gonna give it a try with just those 2 at the end, and it looks like that is enough.
Now just get down through there without getting swallowed, and he does that successfully.
So Dave doesn't have too many issues with 7-2, just lost a little time trying to get P-speed where he couldn't do it.
Glutamic Acid finishing up World 4 Fortress and gets his... See, with that done, he does build a bridge. So this is make the World 4 overworld very quick for him.
Being known in chat, this must have been a rough seed. You have no idea. We have DaveLindo who fed Boss Bass repeatedly over and over and over again. And we were so impressed with that I don't think either of us was really watching too much of what Glutamic was doing, because we were trying to get Dave through World 7-5. But yeah, the fact that it's a 33-minute point and we're only finishing World 7, it looks like Glutamic Acid hasn't had a cakewalk himself.
He has had some difficulties, but not nearly as much as DaveLindo did. Glutamic Acid is... this will take him into World 8, and he's... Oh, that's an interesting hitbox. I didn't know that Sledge Brothers would do that to you.
This is not good. Hit him. Good. Oh, it's terrible. I have been transformed into a human. Ooh, Cloud.
That could be handy if World 8-1 is, or 8-2 is in a nasty spot.
Nice clear by DaveLindo, and Glutamic Acid is going through the pipe maze right now to figure out what he has to do here.
He sees a Navy, which will be a randomized fort, and decides to play something else. And since our runners don't know where the other is, then they're still working to race it as best as they can. Glutamic Acid is probably still trying to figure out where he can go to avoid having to spend as much time. He has no clue that DaveLindo's lost all that time on 7-5.
I think he knows that this is not going to go well for him at this point. He probably expects that Glutamic Acid had no issues with it. Of course, Glutamic Acid, as he finds this stage, which I think is 6-4, Glutamic Acid can't know because he has his own little mistakes he makes. He thinks, oh, Dave probably did that fine. He probably had no problem with this. I made a mistake here. I'm in trouble. So both runners are playing completely blind. They do have to assume that their opponents are doing everything perfectly.
And Glutamic Acid did enter 7-5 and surrendered a 1-up in exchange for using the opportunity to use a cloud to skip it.
The big issue that DaveLindo had was he used the cloud to skip 1-5, and as soon as he did that, without having the bridge available beyond it to get to the castle, it didn't matter what he did on 1-6 beta behind it. He would have had to go back to play the 7-5 in order to get back to the castle at that point. So it was a case of bad timing for DaveLindo using the cloud. Unlike that, perfect case of using a cloud to skip panel 2, and Glutamic Acid has a hammer that is in Bowser's Castle. He's ready to finish this.
Let's see if he can keep it. Bowser's Castle can always throw in something wonky on you, but I've seen several hammer kills in this randomizer, so looking forward to seeing another one if Glutamic Acid can keep it.
He may go for the clip here. Nope, he tried, but he could lose it here. The fire pattern here is randomized. No lasers.
I would say that it is probably very much worth your while to be careful on these tone-ups. You don't want to lose this hammer suit, because that would lose a lot of time, and he does.
That's a friendly fire room. That is friendly. And hi, Bowser. Bye, Bowser.
Bye, Bowser. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs out for Glutamic Acid, completing Bowser's Castle with the hammer suit. Awesome swag there, and with that finished, he will be turning out. He'll be finishing our fast race, or finish the first race, or the last race in our group stage. I'm sorry about that. Official SRL time, 36 minutes, 57 seconds. Congratulations to Glutamic Acid, and we will shortly have him here in the chat. Just have a small break while we get himself set up here.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Dave here. He's on World 4, and I don't see a forfeit in the chat, but I did see him comment that he's having a hard time. I don't know if he plans to forfeit or not. I'm gonna try and clarify this. So we're getting a clarification what's going on here with DaveLindo. We have to have an actual forfeit command before we can actually say he's forfeit, but it looks like he is not moving right now. In any case, as you said, Diesel, we are going to have Glutamic Acid joining us in a moment. We should probably talk a little bit about the bracket plays again, because I mentioned that we were going to do that. We were too focused on DaveLindo's Boss Bass Buffet. So did you want to talk a little bit about the bracket plays? What will be different about them? Or do you have that information?
Well, I can pull that information up.
I have it too.
I do know for. Oh, okay.
I have it too.
Things I
was
do know
going to give you the chance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, things I do know that are different with it is that there is no in-card panel, and the locks will not be broken by hammers, unlike the group stages where the hammers would break a lock or a rock. The hammers will only break a rock.
Exactly, and you got those exact two changes. The hammers will only break rocks, so locks you have to do the forts. And the challenge of not having the end card game and being able to get a lot of free items from playing cards, basically, that is going to add quite a challenge to the brackets going forward.
Indeed, allowing a player to get a variety of different items that would be randomized based on the end card game allows for a lot of the plays that you see and a lot of the strategizing that you see that lets people build up things like hammers or hammer suits or other things that we've seen throughout the group stage bracket or through the group stage play, but instead they're only going to be able to get their items from the Hammer Brothers fights or the Toad Houses or some of the few stages that offer items such as the Piranha levels or the hand stages. And thank you, Pro007, who's done the calculations and has found that glutamic acid will be in the 16th seed with an average time of 35:58. And it looks like we have our runner glutamic acid in the stream available. Are you there, glutamic acid?
I think his mic is still off, but we can give him that news once he does come on, and we'll be able to... There he is. Glutamic acid.
GG, good job. Congratulations on your entry into the bracket stage.
Yeah, I'm delighted.
So
I think it was a bit of a contrast of seeds.
So I don't know if you heard what Diesel just said, because he said just before you came in. But Pro007 did do the calculations. You are going to be the 16th seed, so you do advance in the brackets, but you are going to have a tough challenge ahead of you, it looks like. Yeah,
although I guess kind of now at this stage, it doesn't really matter too much who you play. I mean, when you look at just the list, just everyone is extremely tough. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough no matter who you play.
Absolutely true. And we should talk about the seeds that we just played. So, first seed was a pretty good one. Second seed, we were watching too much of what DaveLindo was going through. I'm going to be honest, I didn't see a lot of what you did. How was your second seed?
It was long. It didn't seem that bad. I think it was a bit of a tough start. I think there were a couple of early routing choices that were a bit tricky. What did Dave... was there anything like Dave really struggled with?
Oh yes.
Yes, there was. Would you like to go and describe it, Cyclone? I can set you up. So, in World 2...
there's only two words. There's only two words you need to hear to set this up. Actually, maybe five. Boss Bass in 7-5.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I had a cloud.
Yes, and
so did he.
DaveLindo had a cloud as well, but there was a big important difference in how you played it. You went and played the Fortress 7F2, which built the bridge.
Oh, no.
And DaveLindo had not built that bridge before he passed that level, and that ended up putting him into the other side. And then during the stage, the 1.6 beta stage, he ended up missing an input with the Tanuki suit and fell from the sky. So he went to the other side anyways, and it was all DOS Bass from there.
But even if he had cleared the 1.6 beta, he would have had to go back through 7.5. It might have been easier for him with the power ups, but he was doing it small the entire time.
Oh, that's a nightmare. Yeah, there's not kind of much you can do, I guess, in that.
And there were a couple horrid enemy placements in it too that just made it almost impossible.
Yeah, yeah.
Among the things that we did discover, Boss Bass will eat you if you are Statue Mario with the Tanuki suit.
Yeah, he really has no chill in that sense.
Yeah, Boss Bass is absolutely cruel.
Because yeah, the second seed was, I mean, the first seed was, well, I mean, it wasn't too bad, and they were plentiful in terms of items. And the second half of it was rapid. Like in the first half wasn't super quick, but the second half, 5, 6, 7, 8 were really quick. And it was a bit the same in the second one, although just not as extreme.
And we did notice a very quick run through the World 7 in the first one. We saw that you had the option of playing 7-1 and then checking the pipe or checking the other pipe, and with the hammer that you had, you were able to go very quickly through World 7. DaveLindo had a slight route variance there. He went and played 7-1, and between that and as quick as World 8 turned out to be by taking the Navy first, that ended up sealing the deal for you. Some of it was, I'd say a little bit of it was routing, but some of it may have just been a strategy that worked out very well to your behalf.
I'm hearing silence there.
And he's rejoined us. Welcome back, Vladimir Cassid.
Hey, sorry, technical issues on my end.
Well, no worries. Well, we're at least glad that any technical issues have waited until after the race.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you wouldn't need that as well.
Do you want to ask your question again, Diesel?
Oh, so yeah, I was just pointing out that in World 7 and World 8 on the first seed, your progress, you made your decision to go and play through, instead of playing 7-1, you went and played the pipe. And it was actually that decision, along with the very quick decision in the Navy, or to play the Navy in World 8, that allowed you to get through that quickly. I was wondering, was there a part of that decision to play the Navy? Was that part of strategy, or was that just kind of what was driving the factor there to play that stage?
I think with the Navy, well, one was that I didn't have a hammer, so if it was necessary to break a lock, it's not something I could hammer instead. And then because it's just there, it's also quite nice. And I think of the kind of 4 levels of the 4 fortresses in World 8, I usually find the Navy is the fastest. So it's not really, even if it doesn't turn out to be the right one, it's not too much of a time sink.
So that does seem to be worked out to be a very good call in your decision to do that, because that one did build the bridge and allowed you to press on. I think we had DaveLindo actually play all 4 of the forts in World 8 during the first race.
Actually, I just kind of caught the end of that. I think I saw he played. He'd at least he was down into the dark screen, so I guess he played a lot more. But I find sometimes it's just World 8, it's just kind of what it does. On another day, that would have led me completely down the wrong path, and it's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Indeed, it does.
That's how it works. Well, you are moving into the tournament phase, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have top 16 in the tournament. Am I right on that? So that means that you would have to go up against our number 1 seed, who I think is Gamer Cow.
I think it would be. I think there's more. I think it's like a staggered bracket stage.
Oh, a staggered bracket stage.
Yeah, I think there's maybe. Well, there's 22 players.
There are 22 players, and Pro did show a of what the brackets actually look like. So because there are 22 advancing to the bracket stage, it is broken up. So
I think we have the bracket already up. We can actually talk about this.
Nice.
Acid, you're going against Clarisstack.com, it looks like, in the next round. So the brackets are going to be starting. We don't have any scheduled matchups yet, obviously, because we had to finish this part of the tournament before we can move on to this. So no races are actually scheduled as yet, but we will talk about this in a moment, the matchups that are set up for round 1. But you are going against Claris.com. Any thoughts going into that race?
I caught I think a couple of Claris's races. He's a very, very solid player. I think he qualified out of arguably one of the hardest groups. And I know he played last year in the tournament. I think he went to the brackets last year as well. So it's it's not going to be easy, but I think at some point in this format, anyone can beat anyone. So I kind of have to hope that you can just execute it.
Well, that's our 16-17 matchup based on your group results and your seedings. That's how you end up against each other. And I was on the right wavelength when I said that you'd have to face GamerCal at some point. If you do beat Claris.com, GamerCal waits for you in round 2. So
okay, yeah.
So anyway, we do wish you luck in the race going forward. Any last thoughts before we start wrapping up?
Oh, just thanks, guys, for the commentary. Thanks, Dave, for the races. And thanks, SpeedGaming, for hosting.
And it is indeed our pleasure to be able to call the race here and be able to see how you did. And good luck to you again going forward in the next round.
Thanks.
Welcome. And go ahead.
I was going to say thank you, Glutamic Acid, and thank you to DaveLindo also.
So let's go ahead and talk about the matchups coming up. We just mentioned that Glutamic Acid and Claris.com are going to be going against each other in round 1. There are 5 other matchups that are going to take place in round 1. As you noted earlier, Diesel, with 22 competitors, we have 6 matches that have to take place to get down to 16.
That's right.
Other matchups, you can go ahead if you want.
Okay, yeah, no problems. So yes, looking at the play-in matches, if you will, we'll have Buzz Thunder against Dust Minion. The Classic 188 is going to be playing Narfman Zero. DLP 316 will have a match against Soundly Paranoid. And Gimp Extreme will be playing Dark Shadows 59, and Yobi GS will have his match against the 22 seed Magoo is Adorable.
And the 6 people waiting for them are our top 6 seeds: GamerCal, Pro 7, Mitch Flower Power, Tapatio J, Ibuba 7, and Paradox 64. They all get to wait for their opponents out of those 6 matchups. The 2 matchups that are already set for round 2 are our number, I'm trying to read the seeds, I think that's 8 and 9, the Hackster Antiques. And then we have our 7-10, which is Human Mustard versus Macobra 52. Those are round 2 matchups, but those are matchups that can also take place at any time now as well. They are set to go for round 2. So they don't have a round 1 matchup. They just go straight into round 2 matchup. They only have 4 matches to get to the end, whereas the people in round 1 have 5 matches to get to the end. So a little bit of a tougher road for them.
Right. So the round 1 and round 2, the round 1 matchups, the ones, the first group of competitors that we discussed, those will be played in the next week, starting somewhere between Monday and Sunday. So between Monday, March 2nd and Sunday, March 8th. And the remaining round 2 matchups will be played somewhere between Monday, March 2nd and Sunday, March 15th. So a week after. And all those matches will be best of 3 matches.
So we have a lot of Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer to come. A lot of, just doing a quick count of the matches on the challenge page, there's 21 matches total, including the grand finals, and another one for the bronze. So 22 matches total coming up here. Still a lot of rando to come before we have a winner in this tournament. Going to be an exciting conclusion of the tournament, don't you think, Diesel?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. We'll have the matchups, of course, as the tournament progresses. We'll have the most challenging and hopefully the most exciting races that we'll be encountering, especially with the slightly altered flag set that adds to the challenge and adds to the complexity of routing decisions and all the other choices that go into a good game of this Super Mario Bros. Randomizer.
Indeed. So make sure you stay tuned to speedgaming.org/SMB3R for information on matches as they get scheduled, as they get approved for being broadcast, not for broadcast, but for being run at that time. And we'll have those matches for you here as they become available. In the meantime, for those of you looking for something else to watch today, we do have other events here on Speed Gaming. There's some Super Mario World, no Cape, no Star World tournament action that's taking place. I think, actually, I'm looking at one this morning, but there was some later today as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock p.m. on this channel, 10 p.m. There will be one of those. There's another one at 6 p.m. on this channel. So if you want to stay tuned for some other Mario, Calco versus Storster is the race coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. There's also some Super Mario Sunshine. That's between Nebula, RSW, Reed, and Papo, and that's a bingo format, a lockout bingo format tournament. So there's some other Mario events you can take a look at here on this channel coming up later this afternoon, starting at 4:30. We also have linked to the past Randomizer Daily Race happening on SpeedGaming 2 right now, some Kirby the Amazing Mirror later, Final Fantasy Randomizer Weekly taking place later, as well as some Super Mario Kart, which will also be on this channel, the main channel. Go to speedgaming.org/schedule for more information on all of those events, plus other channels, SpeedGaming 3 has some events as well, and we'll have all that information for you there. Any last thoughts?
I just want to send our thanks to the folks at Speed Gaming and Speedruns Live who help make this whole tournament possible, and any of the other administrators, the technical support people, and the folks that are working in the background to make these tournaments a success and to make all the events that we enjoy possible, and send my thanks to you guys.
And thank you so much again for joining me on the co-coms. I'm happy to have joined you as well. Make sure to follow the runners, DaveLindo and Glutamic Acid. I believe both exactly as you see them on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/either of those names. If you want, you can follow us if you want to. Definitely follow Diesel J Pilot, my co-commentator. And I'm Cyclone or Cyclone GU. And I want to thank you, chat, for watching. If it wasn't for you, we'd just be talking to ourselves. So thank you for watching us. Yammer to ourselves, and we hope to see you in the brackets. Next time we see you in this tournament, we're going to be under bracket flags, no end cards, a lot more difficult. Going to get exciting. See you next time, everyone.
We'll see you next time. From Twitch TV and speedgaming.org, this is Diesel Pilot signing